it got sloppy towards the end.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them.
All right, so just got done watching Frankfurt, Madrid, Athletes Forum podcast, Locker Room Nightcap, or if you're watching this before Sunday's game, use this as your little morning tea, your breakfast with coffee type of meal. As we're about to give you an instant reaction to Madrid, Frankfurt, which was a hell of a game. Hell of a game for a number of reasons, some good, some bad, but we're not gonna waste no time. Let's dive into it. But first, Week 2 is getting off to a great start already. Obviously, we had the Vikings in there throwing this game, but we had a dogfight. We had a dogfight in Prague with the Sea Devils against the Prague Lions in the game that turned out to be. And then we get a shootout, for our night game with Frankfurt and Madrid. Let's talk about this game for a second. When you think about this game, there's a lot that kind of came to fruition with both teams. I thought you always appreciate a good shootout. Two, you're starting to get a feel of who these teams are once they start putting some things on paper week in, week out, and kind of get a feel. And that's what I'm here to tell you. I thought this game really showed kind of what this season is going to turn out to be. The rushing title is up for grabs. Glenn gets hurt, Kari gets hurt. The rushing title is up for grabs, and in the season where the rushing title is up for grabs, you having teams like Frankfurt and Madrid that have two great running back duos. In Frankfurt, when you got Alman and Platzgummer, and Madrid, you got Selig and Nico Barrow. So we'll see, but it was a great shootout. Let's talk about this game first. Let's start with Madrid. Madrid is. They're hard to dissect, but I think I think some of the things, at least for concern, and some of the things in regards to their identity, is starting to paint a picture of what this team is going to be about, the whole season, right? I think they came in with a lot of hype, obviously rightfully so, with their signings and including coaches and players. And I even said this on the First Down Magazine show, episode 1, that even though their team is built differently in regards to wanting to outscore people, I think in the division where you have the Munich Ravens and the Tyrol Raiders, is you got to have some type of physicality to it. Not even in the division game did those concerns come into question, and we're talking about this Frankfurt game. Some of the notes I have here: 1, offense feels like it's still missing something. I said this in my picks and preview show that they need a third option. I was wrong. I'm going to be completely honest. I might be wrong in that comment when we're talking about this team, because with the 2 running backs they have, that's kind of what they are. That's kind of their third and their fourth option. And what do I mean by that? If you're gonna, in order to play against Madrid, you're gonna have to have DBs on the field, or you're gonna have to have guys who could cover. Right? Don't worry about stopping the run. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, because that's not who they're gonna try to be. They're not gonna try to run the ball down your throat. They want to pass the ball. So you got to have guys on the field that could cover, right? If you play zone, then your linebackers are kind of in a bind, because Andrew likes to do a lot of things. He likes to do clear out concepts, which you saw in the end zone a couple of times. He likes to do deep crossing routes and threaten that deep middle of the field again with the linebackers. And if you get those linebackers to drop, well, now you have Nico Bauer and Justice Selig that's going to give you 4 or 5 a pop. That's their run game. All right. Aaron Cruikshank, jet sweeps, quick bubble screens. That type of player is the reason why Andrew wanted Aaron on his team. That's their run game. Reed throws for 400-some yards and 3 touchdowns. All right? This is going to be their offense. This is who Madrid is going to be, and they're going to live and die by it. And granted, and maybe because I have expectations of what 2022 Barcelona was, or what the Ryan Fire offense was the past 2 seasons. You're going to have to look at this Madrid team as different, because it's neither of those offense. It's a mix and it's a blend of some of those, but this Madrid offense has a different identity. That's something that we're going to have to get used to seeing in terms of what that identity is. Only in the ELF do you have a 10-point swing, right, within 3 minutes, right? You get a blocked field goal, right? You get a blocked field goal. And then you get a touchdown, right? block field goal, touchdown. Then on that touchdown, right, you get a 2-point conversion out of it, right? Only in the ELF do you get a 10-point swing like that, and some of the crazy things that has happened, throughout this game. Some of the other notes I've had: Aaron Cruikshank was eating it against man coverage, right? Aaron Cruikshank is someone. Aaron Cruikshank's a problem. Shout out to New Jersey. Aaron Cruikshank is a problem. He was eating against man coverage. He was really working in the middle of the field. He is getting 4 to 5 a pop, and if he could do that, who needs to run the ball, right? You could kind of see the mindset. Andrew Weininger is. If I could get 4 or 5 a pop on these quick screens, these quick catches, these quick option routes, and work the middle of the field, because he was killing them in man coverage. Why do I have to run it when I could possibly get more if he breaks something, right? We already talked about Reed Sennett. He's a dude. I like Reed. Reed Sennett is a dude. Again, threw for 459 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Don't forget about JFC. Don't forget about Juan Flores Calderon. 2 touchdowns, a little under 100 yards in receiving. He had a great game, right? So we can't sleep on Juan Flores Calderon, and the reason why we fell in love with him when he played for the Milano Seamen, right? These are some of the concerns, though, when you think about Madrid. No pass rush. My God, they did not have a pass rush all game, right? And we keep talking about, or at least me, like wanting to see more development, wanting to see more production from Iceman as the leader of this defensive line. Still waiting to see here. And then you think about the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, right? We get a shot to JFC, right? Frankfurt gets the ball. Excuse me. We get a pass to JFC. He's short, right? Frankfurt gets the ball. Angelo Platzgummer runs the ball, right? Madrid gets the ball back. Torredia gets a pass from Reed, fumbles it. It got sloppy towards the end for Madrid. They got a lot of penalties, a lot of missed opportunities. They got sloppy towards the end for Madrid, and that's the reason why they had the outcome that they had today. All right. When you think about Frankfurt, and I'm gonna be honest, this DB unit, this unit for Frankfurt, it's not what I thought they were. I'm just gonna be frank. It's not what I thought they were. I thought they'd be a little bit more lockdown. DB to DB, I thought they'd be a little bit more lockdown, right? But some of the other things that were good. McKay, this was his game. This is the game he came out in, used his legs early, calm, poised in the pocket. O-line gave him a lot of time. Again, Madrid really didn't get a pass rush, really didn't get to McKay. But O-line gave McKay a lot of time to tote the rock, to distribute it to his receivers. Paul Leinhart had a great game. Nico Straman had a great game. Terry Wright had a big catch towards the end that was short of a touchdown. McKay balled. McKay balled. What else we talked about in this game? The interior D line for Frankfurt 8, right? They were given fits to that Madrid offensive line with some twist games, and ultimately causing some disruption in the backfield, right? I already spoke about the DB unit, not what I thought they were. Granted, still early. It's week 2 of the European League of Football, but I want to see more because I had higher expectations for what this defensive back unit could be, right? Again, you got Paris next week. You still got to play the Surge, and you got some other tough games in your schedule. How do you get better? Channing Stribling did get an interception on a kind of a predictable play, right? Reed kind of stared Aaron Cruikshank down. It was an out and up route. Channing was the back safety. You had Battle covering him. Channing just covers over top, gets the interception, right? Kind of predictable. Channing read the whole thing, right? Hey, Sandro's back. Sandro Platzgummer had a game. 248 rushing touchdowns, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns. This looked like old Sandro, pre-New York Giants Sandro, number 7 Sandro, Raiders of T-Roll Sandro, right? Pre-Dr. Sandro, all right? Sandro is back, and shout out to him. We've been waiting to see this since he came into the league. Obviously, first year with the Raiders, he got hurt. Second year, didn't really get his feet under him, but got going late in the season, and now he's carrying that momentum this year. Shout out to my guy, Sandro Platzgummer, who's a friend of the show and always been an avid supporter of Athletes Forum. All right. Frankfurt's offense in a whole, I felt like they came to light today. I felt like we were kind of waiting for this last week, but they had a week 1 moment, right? Now, do they continue to get better? That offensive line played great, right? The offensive line gave McKay a lot of time. The offensive line looked stout. It looked balanced. It looked seasoned today, right? So we'll see if they can continue this momentum going forward. They got Paris next week. They will have their hands full with Paris, and that's going to be a great game to watch. But ultimately, Frankfurt wins 47-33. Great game. Great way to end the first Saturday of week 2. And as we're heading into Sunday's games, obviously the big one, Paris-Stuttgart, has been talked about. Check out my last episode, the full Paris breakdown. But here's my instant reaction to the Frankfurt Galaxy versus Madrid Bravos. I have Frankfurt winning this game, and we'll see what these games Sunday look like. Drop a comment in the locker room. Let me know what you guys think.